And we're back.
And we are back.
Yes.
Did we ever leave?
No, not really.
No, not really.
Not in this lifetime or any others.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Welcome
Good
to Quest.
evening.
I'm John.
And I'm John.
Fancy that.
And we are John
And
John.
John. Intuitive interpretations of guidance of live
stuff.
God talking to God.
God talking to God.
Put it that way.
Many gods talking to many gods. Hello,
Yes.
Kylie.
Hi, Kylie.
Welcome. Welcome to this evening's event.
Yes. So yes, intuitive guidance. So life issues, health issues, stuff like that. We help to guide you to your answer, to finding your answer through your intuition, using our intuition, basically.
Pretty much.
Yes. So any
dare we say any more?
Yes, dare we say any more? So what's our favourite one been this week, John?
My favourite one today was "Seed It's in You."
Yes, that's it. It's been
"Seed It's in You," "Seed It's on You," "Seed It's in You."
So,
in any way, shape or form.
So in nearly every spiritual tradition, there's a form of "as above, so below," which also translates to "as within, so without." So in your outside world, when you see things, when you notice things, especially if they annoy you, especially if they piss you off, people doing stuff, shit happening in the outside world.
Yeah.
It's happening in your inside world. So it's the need to correct it inside you, but it can be happening in a different way. The basic is happening. So if you're seeing, violence or hatred or something like that, then you have violence in you, but you might not have, that might be people being violent towards each other, but it might be your feelings being violent towards your emotions or something like that in you. Right. It doesn't have to be in the same area.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily translate to the same thing just because you've seen that, that in the outside world.
Just the core of it's the same, the action or the driving force, the basis of it. So if there's things outside you annoying you, this is one we like to do on the lives. It's really easy. So people come on and tell us, this is what pisses me off.
What pisses you off?
And so you tell us what pisses you off, and then we help you.
One of our favorites.
If you describe it quite in depth, right? Like how it feels, what they're doing, then we can help translate that to what it may be doing inside you, maybe between your thoughts and feelings, and maybe between all sorts of parts,
all sorts of different aspects of you.
So yes, if you if you be a bit more descriptive, or if you want to come on live and have a chat,
come on live.
Come on live.
No one wants to come on live.
There's a good filter.
There's a good filter.
So yes,
more and more people want to come on live.
Yes, there we go. So it's another little tool of ours, the filters. So when we have definite words, fixed words, so we say nobody, everybody, always, that creates filters in the subconscious, and then that blocks us from seeing any other point of view other than that. So this is why we try and change our wording, change those things, and by changing our wording, we can often see all the other aspects that are actually happening. People say, everybody's miserable, but
never happens to me.
But then they say, well, but I'm not, right? So that these two opposing forces can't come to terms unless they change. It seems like everybody's miserable. It looks like everybody's miserable. Then you say that a few times, then you see when all the different times when they aren't.
It's like my 13-year-old daughter, she's been collecting those McDonald's Monopoly cards, right?
Yep.
And there's a pink one. I don't know which particular ones it is, but she got them the other day, and she's like, I never get that pink one.
So
I never get that pink one.
Keith or Spiteri? Kath, sorry. Just click the link,
the
Zoom link at the top there or at the side, whichever way it is on your computer or phone. There's a Zoom link there. Just click on that and we'll bring you on live. You can come on with video or just audio. If you don't want to come on with video, we can just bring on audio, and then we'll just have a little chat and play around and catch some of your filters, catch some of your annoyances, or just you can tell us what you want to sort out. So with the intuitive guidance, we don't do it for you, we do it with you. This is not like a lot of the other readings where we pick a card and we this is our intuition working with your intuition.
Yeah.
So that way it becomes more real, it becomes something you can use in your everyday life. So so if anyone's got, or if you want to just come on and chat, can I keep my daughter safe? Louise Rollins asks, can I keep my daughter safe? Of course you can, but the way you do it is by not focusing on what you don't. So the tool we have, focus on what you do want, not what you don't want.
Yeah.
So to keep your daughter safe, you've got to believe in guidance from the universe, and you've got to believe that each one of us is truly guided, and you've got to keep that affirmation, focus on her safety, focus on saying all the time, she is divinely guided. She is divinely protected. Her spirits will. So what you're doing then by repeating that, you're seeing her and you're putting an energy around her that lets her be guided by her spirit guides, or whatever you want to call it, like by the universe. The universe is always guiding all of us to safety, right? So it's each one of us is connected. So and if you learn how to use this tool consciously, like people who do negative stuff or do manipulative stuff can be divided to be saved. You know, you can do it to, you can use that to actually protect yourself from, you know, things that you shouldn't protect yourself from, really.
Right.
Getting yourself in, like, you know, people who are doing crime can use it to keep themselves safe in crime. You know, it's like, it's not really wise to do that, but, you know, that's how it works. The law of the universe keeps us all safe all the time. So, so here we go. We've got Kath coming on live in a second.
Kath, I'm going to bring you in.
Bring Kath in. So Kath, you'll have to click on your microphone. You'll see a little microphone symbol there. There we go.
Hello, Kath.
Hi.
Hi, Kath.
How are you?
Good.
Great. How are you?
I'm amazing.
Amazing. Great. That's a good start. So what would you like to talk about?
So I'm having a challenging time at the moment where my brother used to use drugs in a very intense kind of way, who's now in jail. And my parents have been going to get him on a weekend, and which is fine, but it's kind of like my mum is pretty much, she's had a few things happening in her life and she's on empty, but she continually wants to give for her children, and that's great, but I kind of I'm finding it really challenging to understand. Yeah, she basically said she wasn't going to go and see him next weekend or go and grab him, but now she's actually doubting because he's kind of tried to say, oh, but mum, and he just tries to challenging everything like he always does. And my dad picked him up this weekend, and basically the girl that he was seeing prior to going in is still using, and he feels guilty that he did it to her and wants to help her get her off it, but he's had no rehab or counselling or anything like that. And I think it's just a lot of, I've seen what it's done to my family, it's ripped my family. And so it's just finding it very challenging.
So the part is, like, you know, I grew up with a lot of this, you know, my nephews and nieces and stuff, you know, when they were only a couple of years younger than me, and we had a lot of them on it when they were very young, when they were 13, 12 and stuff like that. And it's really challenging for the family. My mum used to go and see my nephew all the time, and so even though my mum's drained and she goes to see him, so I'm guessing a little part of your gripe is that they put too much attention on the person that's not doing well, and then it sort of takes away the attention of the rest of the family who are doing well. Is that part of the issue? Small part of it?
Probably an unconscious part. I think I just see what it does to them on a health side of things.
On the health side, it's like, it's very draining, as you said. It's very challenging, as you said, and it's a tough one to balance between, you know, most of us overhelp. It's just what we do for whatever reason. Fixing. And so we go into fixing, and like, even like your brother, he's blaming himself. Your parents are probably blaming their self because they didn't bring him up well enough, the reason he got on it. So they're trying to fix it. So, and then he's trying to fix his girlfriend who's still on it because she got on it with him. And this is the problem, right? Everyone's trying to fix what they think they did wrong, and no one's actually really turning it internally and trying to fix themselves, you know? So, you know, the way that you do it and the way that you sort of let it go is you look at what they're doing and describe it in your words, what they're doing. So they're they're helping, what would you say they're doing? They're helping excessive, or they're helping one. What's your word?
I think it comes down to self-worth.
Not what it comes down to, but what are they doing in a very basic way, almost in a judgmental way, but it's not judgmental. But take it down to, you know, they keep helping him and he doesn't want to help himself. I'm not saying this is how it happened, but I'm just trying to get your words for how you would describe it. You know, they're helping him, you know, bring out your frustrated words of describing it. Like,
and the part for me that I feel the most emotion in what you've said so far is around when you say what it does to my family, and you've seen it before, and then it destroys my family. Like that part for me feels the most emotional.
Yeah. And destroying your family, you know, the harder part is there's a story about good luck, bad luck, which we talk about often, you know. So a lot of how I got into this stuff 20 years ago, but the stuff that got me into it was pretty bad: motorbike accidents, drugs myself, all of that sort of stuff. You know, and at the time, and it went for a long period, it went for like nearly 10 years. It looked like it was all terrible stuff, you know, but if that didn't all happen, I wouldn't have got to this stage, right? So when you're saying destroying your family, right, it's like you've got to, it looks like it's destroying my family, but I don't know in the long run, you know. So you know, good luck, bad luck, you don't know the whole story. It's like, it's hard to deal with. Yes, it's tough, but sometimes we just got to pull ourselves back and step back and go, look, I don't know, you know, this might in 10 years turn into something good.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's hard to see the long game, you know, a lot of the times in these. So it's what it is, your energy needs to really pull back, right? And you just got to go, I don't know. It looks like that. So, you know, you said it's destroying my family, right? So that becomes a subconscious command. Right? So just change that wording now to it looks like it's destroying my family. It seems like it's destroying my family. It seems like it's going to destroy them completely. It seems like it's going to drive them, but I don't know. That way. So this is those definite words. Then allow you, by saying that to yourself now and repeating it, and each time never say it is just like, so when you say it's destroying my family, that's a definite fixed word. This creates a filter in the subconscious, and you can't see any of the other parts. And it's really hard to pull back and wait and see the big picture.
You know, and that may explain why you can't understand it, right? Because maybe the positive side of it, because you've created a filter that it's going to destroy my family, you can't feel into or see into the positive side of where this may go, right?
So there's so much fear around because he has anger issues, anger management issues, and it got a little bit messy, and a few people didn't feel safe, to the point my mum actually manifested him to be captured and go into jail. So she actually had breathing space.
So now she's blaming herself for that. That's why she's doing it so much to go back and fix that, right? She's now judging herself, just like he's judging himself with his girlfriend, right? In the background, and then they try and compensate, and it's the compensation part that's the problem. Oops, there it is.
Oh wow.
Compensation.
The compensation.
That's a key word for you, Kath.
So it's like, and so now you can start to pull back a little bit and give some grace, give some forgiveness, and forgiveness to yourself too for, you know, pushing it so hard, you know, for, you know, because you're trying too, and you're trying to help, but this is where it comes in, you know. So we subconsciously they're all blaming themselves, right? As parents, you know. Well, when it happened with my nephew, he was only 12 and he was into pedophile rings and all sorts of stuff, and they got him. It was just horrid. We were in the Royal Commission, all sorts of stuff back in the 90s, early 90s, and my mum blamed herself because he was raised with me more than my sister, and everyone blamed themselves. And it's like, and you know, and I thought he's only got out of jail 2 years ago, and he's been in jail. He's only been out 2 years of his whole life, his whole adult life. He's 2 years younger than me, so he's late 40s. But now he's out, and I thought his life was over. He was on morphine and whatever the heroin, but whatever they give him and you know, he's off all of that now, and he's out. Finally, he's out, and now he's actually helping people, and he's changing people's lives and everything else. I thought, you know, for a long time his life was over, and it was terrible. And I blamed the pedophiles, and I blamed myself for not seeing it, and all sorts of stuff, you know. And everyone blamed themselves, but now, like, it took 30 years. But now it's turned around, and I'm amazed. I'm blown away. Like, you know, I'd really sort of written that part off and had to really do a lot to let go of it. But that compensation part, that blaming themselves, you know, so we don't know the whole story. You know, we don't know, you know, from, you know, all these so-called bad things that happen. You know, sometimes we need to hit rock bottom. Sometimes they're the things, the people that are most inspired in the world have have gone through that. Right?
Is there much age between you and your brother?
Yes, there's. I'm one of. I'm the eldest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One of 5 kids.
Anyway.
For not being there.
For your brother being where he is, like for not looking out for him because you're the older sister or anything like that.
No, you should have
maybe could have helped, or maybe you thought you could have helped at one point, but you didn't, or maybe you did and it didn't help, or
that all those things will be running in the background.
Like blame just keeps jumping out. Yeah. Blame, and as we were saying earlier, when we see these things, it can be in us, right? Generally.
Yeah. So you're seeing the compensation your mum's doing. You're trying to compensate for your mum and the rest of your family, and this is where it all steamrolls. So just it's tough, but you back off and you start to focus on what you do want. So your family's being ripped, in your words, your family's being ripped apart and destroyed. So what you need to do is just keep focusing now on your family being reunited and coming together, right?
Yeah.
So from this adversity, whenever it settles down, not in my timing, but in God's timing or divine timing, when it settles down, it's going to bring the family back together somehow. Just keep focusing on that, keep picturing that. So yes, it looks like that now, but what if this makes us into a stronger family? What if this reunites the family? That's focusing on what you do want.
I guess I really would love that, but it's but I don't see it. So yeah,
you don't see it, but
that's okay, right? That's okay right now. Yeah.
They're not seeing it is tough, but they're not seeing it is adding fuel to that part of the fire, let's say. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, if we don't want war, this is one of the things. If we align and agree on resist and react, we can things to happen. So energy goes where thought flows is what Einstein said.
Yeah.
So focus on what you're doing.
I was just going to say the same thing.
So yes, there's nothing wrong with that. So, but every time you feel that, get it around and go, okay, so that's what appears to be happening. That's what looks like happening. It's probably happening. But so what's the opposite of that? What do I want? So put as much energy as you can each time you feel it come up, go, okay, so this can bring the family together. What if this reunites the family? What if some way this can turn around? Just do what if. Don't try and go too far like a pendulum and push it. And a lot of people do go, I'm going to be a millionaire when they're in poverty. It's like,
you said you just can't see it. I mean, and you mentioned the word manifesting. So I'm guessing you have some concept of the law of attraction, right?
Oh, massively. I just it just hurts my heart with mum. So
you're blaming yourself because you can't see it. You can't see what you want to picture.
So and it's not
that law of attraction.
So you can't see it. That's fine. Then imagine it. I can't see it, so just keep picturing it and put the imagination over the top of the other one. Superimpose the family coming back together. So look, it almost seems impossible, but use things like almost. It almost seems like it's not actually going to happen. But I'm just going to keep seeing the family. Every time I see that picture, I'm going to put a picture over the top of the family coming together and us uniting and sitting around the table whenever, in 5 years, in 10 years. I'm going to see us all sitting around the table and laughing about this situation one day, right? Just keep visualizing that. So I did it with my kids recently. Some of my older kids weren't talking to me because it's something, that I did. And, I said something in a bad way, and I was focusing on that. I was trying to fix it all the time, and that was keeping it apart. So I just started doing that visualization. I just said, I just kept saying this. Okay, one day we're going to sit around. Once they can accept my forgiveness, and I can get their forgiveness or whatever, and apologize. We're going to all sit around the table, and we're going to laugh about this one day. And it's it's going to make us stronger. And I just kept, every time the negative feeling came up, I put that feeling on top, right? And the more you do that, you're actually creating the possibility. Don't make it an absolute. That's why the law of attraction doesn't work, because we go from we don't believe it at all to trying to believe it completely. We can't do that. We just put it in there as a possibility.
And oftentimes we judge ourselves because we can't see it. Right. So and it's an endless pattern. Then I can't see it. I judge myself.
You can't see it. The see it is the definite, right? So we're not talking about a definite. We're talking about a possibility. To make it more possible, the more times you put that good picture on top of the bad picture, the more chance it's got of happening. It doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. It's otherwise you're just adding to it through the fear, through your not seeing it. It's like you can create the possibility for it to happen just by changing that picture over and over again. Just use those two techniques. First of all, take yourself out and take everyone out of the blame and stop trying to compensate. the compensation or the way to fix it is just to keep as many times per day, change the picture or superimpose the possibility of it making everyone come together somehow, some way, even though it seems impossible. Maybe this can turn it around, and maybe me just sending the positive picture and the positive imagination on top of it will add to it and make it happen quicker.
Yeah. These are amazing. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks, Kat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, yep. Now we're back to the normal live. So we'll go through some of the messages here.
See how I cleared that filter?
So
we had someone come on.
So that's
just like
that's why we say if you come on live, see how much more we can work through, because it's not just working through it once. We have to work through it several times, and it's like if we've got a negative thought pattern, a negative belief, it's there and it's repeated so many times. So we've got to repeat the positive quite a few times. We've got to be in the feeling, in the belief of it. We've got to, law of attraction only works not just by the picture, but by the belief. If you say something but you doubt it, then it's not going to happen. So you've got to bring the picture back a little bit to where you can start to believe it. Okay. What do we got here?
I'm just reading. What do we do? What do we do, John?
Pretty much what we're just doing on a live.
Yeah,
we can
we've got a pretty good example.
Change filters. We've got YouTube videos up there. So basically, I've studied so many different spiritual, religious traditions, and the basic tools for everything come down to 9 or 12 tools, and they can be expressed in hundreds or millions of different ways. But basically, it's about changing inside. The world inside is a reflection of the world outside. So macrocosm, microcosm, as above, so below. So if you see anything out in the outside world or in the universe, then it's a reflection of what's happening inside you. And we try and see what that reflection is. It's not the same thing. If you see people fighting with each other, you wouldn't fight with other people, but you might be fighting with your own feelings, or you might be fighting with your emotions. You might be fighting with your thoughts. So you stop the fighting, and then all of a sudden it doesn't bother you on the outside anymore. So that's the basic. That covers all of it, but there's so many different tools and so many different ways we can do that, and this is what the intuitive guidance, this is what your intuition is doing all the time. So if you've got physical ailments, it's a message from your soul, from your spirit, trying to tell you what it needs to fix. It's not a problem per se. It's a message. The problem is the message. If you can receive the message, the problem will fix itself almost instantly.
Yeah, a couple of people have asked, anything for me? Is there a message? We don't really do that.
Yeah, but not in here anyway.
Not in here, yeah.
So we did do those sorts of readings and that, but they're paid readings one-on-one.
Yeah.
This is intuitive guidance, so we want our intuition to work with yours. So John and I do it with each other because our own intuition, because we're personally involved, gets a little bit harder to read. Yeah. So if you tell us and we can reflect our intuition with yours, it makes it much clearer, reaffirms it, and allows you to follow through on that. Yeah. So all the things, any physical ailments, any conditions, having trouble with your boss, you're sick of everyone picking on you, all of those sorts of things, they're all reflections. And then we can help you to find out where that's happening inside you. And as soon as you see it, and as soon as you identify it, it starts to fix itself automatically.
Yeah.
So what's that one?
Not quite great. I can't really read too much of the English.
Oh, okay.
Tony's asked. Tony was one of the ones that asked anything for me, but she's commented a couple of times that no one can read me.
So no one can read you, and that's true because you won't let them. No one can read you, and no one can read anyone. I can't do this stuff. It's always a two-way street. So if you block it out, like I do energy healing as well, right? And I've got a particular friend who I've worked with for years, and I cannot do anything on him. I can feel it, and it'll go through just a little bit, but he doesn't want it to, right? So it won't happen. The free will, the law of free will is the number one universal law. So if you refuse to let it go, let it come through, then it can't happen. It's not that they can't read you. They can read. I could read you, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what I could read, right? Yeah. So they can read you, but they wouldn't be able to tell you or share it with you because you won't let them. Yeah. So it's like it's a two-way street, and this is why people go. But then it's like it's reading. This is why we say intuitive guidance is my intuition and your intuition working together, right? So you don't want them to read them. You're blocked. You go on, read me. And it's like, they can't. Of course they can't. Or the other side of it is, the other one you get like that is no one can read you because your guide, your spirit, you're already reading everything and you're not listening. And so no one can read you that way. So if you're not listening and you already know, and your guidance, your intuition, you're already reading it, then no one can read you because they're not supposed to, because you're blocking out the fact that you're reading yourself. So there's, and again, we could find why that's happening if we come on live, and things like that would take me like a bit of exploration, take us half an hour, 20 minutes to work through with people. So we do these readings online or face-to-face if you're in Melbourne. And it does, we have filters, we have commands inside of ourselves. These things, you on the live we just did, like the live chat we just did, the truth will set you free. So when she's seen the compensation part, she was like, okay, so that's what she saw it intuitively, she recognized it, and that setting free is relaxing and releasing and letting go. That's what sets you free. Your energy is not locked up. So all the lies that we have, if we tell ourselves, every pain is a lie, is another one of our tools, which is really in-depth and it's a really tough one to go into, right? So, but the reason it's a lie, the pain is the lie because the lie is causing the pain. The fact that you say you can't do something or you can't fix it, that's the lie, and it causes pain by the energy, the meridians or the chakras are being blocked. And it's like the lie is saying it can't be done, or it's just a message. The faster you can receive the message, there is no pain. There can be discomfort, but it won't be painful. And so, if you bump your leg and you receive the message instantly, it won't be painful. It'll be discomfort. And so I do this on many occasions, kick your toe. It's like, fuck. It's like, but if I go, what's that message? And I receive it instantly, it's like, now it's throbbing, but it's not painful anymore. Other times I'll be bouncing around, hopping around like a madman, like Tigger going, So this is the symbolic of, if you get reflux, if you've got reflux all the time, what are you not digesting? Yeah. What information, what feeling, what emotion did you just have that you can't digest? This reflux is my favorite one, not at all. It's one of my most common. I still get it fucking 10 times a day, It's like, have you digested it? And it's like, and it's like, okay, what was I just thinking or feeling that I don't want to digest, that I don't want to accept? Then I feel it, I remember it, then I go, okay, start digesting it, reflux goes away instantly. So, all these sorts of things, they're just instant messages for us to accept and receive instantly. And if we do, we become this miraculous person who seems to be able to fix anything almost instantly. Yeah.
Georgina asked, how's Melbourne? How's Melbourne?
Melbourne is awesome. We love it. For us, we love Melbourne.
We love Melbourne.
Everyone keeps telling us, why did we move here from Sydney?
Why did you move to Melbourne?
Because we love it. Maybe they should move to Sydney. And so stop complaining about where they're at, We love the style. The weather doesn't bother us, So it's like, it's just, the universe guided us here. It feels right. So, we don't know. So it's here. This is where it's guided us now. It might guide us somewhere else, So, all right. What else we got? Not much. Anyone else want to come on live? Anyone else got some issues? What pisses you off? Anything like that. Just throw some details in there. Have some fun. Play around with it. See, it's amazing when you see it, and something that's pissed you off for 10 years, right? You see where it is symbolically, and you agree to start changing it, and all of a sudden you go out the next day and it doesn't piss you off anymore. It's like, what the hell? That's been pissing me off 10 times a day for the last 20 years, right? Yeah. And then it's all of a sudden you start working on it new. And it's like, okay, then you agree to work on it. You don't even have to fix it completely. You just have to agree to fix it. Start fixing it. And it stops annoying you on the outside.
Right. Here we go.
All right. Here we go. So.
You're doing great. Thank you, Tina.
Thanks, Tina. So, yes, what do we got?
Ren's made a comment. She said, my intuitive guidance allowed me to find my eldest brother. We talked tonight for the first time. We both knew finding each other would start to heal so much family stuff past and present. That's awesome.
And that's that's focusing on what you do want. So your intuitive, so as soon as your intuitive guidance said you'll find each other, you started focusing on that you're going to find each other, right? So then that opened the universe to make connections and doorways. Before that, you're probably going, I can't find it. Like, it's like people, whatever we say, wherever our energy goes, our thought flows. So It's like, so focusing on what you do want. So if you've got all these negative things, if you've got all these what we call I can'ts going on, this doesn't happen, that, don't worry about that. Just feel it and go, what's the opposite of that? So if I can't do something, I want to do it. So keep picturing and asking. It's like, what would it, I'm going to find him somehow. I've got no idea, but I'm going to find him, right? So this is how things open up. And, it's like, it's a harmony. It's a dance, frequency, energy. So it's like a band or a choir singing together. If you're not singing in the same tune, you can't tune in. So this is how the law of attraction, it's harmony, it balances. So if you want more good things to happen in your life, you've got to stop complaining. You've got to stop, start going, okay, so what will it take? Where are these things? They're in me. There's sort of, so, it's really basic and really challenging, because it's really changing inside. It's changing you and letting go of it, trying to change everyone else. So
I cracked a good one today that I caught.
Yeah.
The forever pessimist.
Oh, yes.
I noticed myself commenting about a colleague at work.
Oh, was it just a comment, was it?
Fuck off. And I was like, such and such is forever pessimist.
He's a forever pessimist.
He's a forever pessimist. And I was like, fuck.
That's the animate. So the more you say it, the more intensity or the more emotion you say it with, he's a forever pessimist. And it's like, oh, so that's in you.
That's in me.
Right. But it's not necessarily in the same way. He's a forever pessimist about work or about, so John had to see where he was forever, there's aspects of his life where he was forever pessimist in other little areas that didn't really apply to that.
Yeah.
So where did you see it? Like,
just in everything outside of work, mostly so far. It seems, right? In aspects of this work, the spiritual work that I do, aspects of myself, in my personal, my appearance, all these other areas, right? Not so much in work, right? Which is where I had noticed it. And this is what we say: when you notice it in an area, it doesn't necessarily mean it's in that same area, right? So but it was just that I was being a forever pessimist, maybe when it comes to money, when it comes to women, I don't know, in all these other areas. Right?
And so what happened when you started seeing it, right? How do you feel now?
I feel great. I fucking bounced off the walls today, right?
So we do a lot of this stuff and we get breakthroughs and it's kind of like the energy goes up and then he hits this ceiling and then it comes straight back down. He gets this amazing epiphany, this amazing breakthrough, but it doesn't hold, right? The forever pessimist keeps stopping it. Now it's just building on top. And it's like, that's just today. He saw that, that's been affecting him for months. And it's like now it's almost just by seeing it a few times, it's just dissipating quite fast. So listen to yourself, listen to the words you say. These things that you say, they're inside you in some area, not necessarily the same area. So we don't do, is there anything for me, the general ones? Tell us what annoys you. Tell us what your problem is. Tell us what? No. It's like, so, tell us when you say, so most people say, have you got something for me? What do you want? What's annoying you? Or what do you feel like you haven't got? Describe that and say it in a detailed words. And then we can help you find a filter or find a blockage. And by doing that and changing the way you say something or the way you see something can allow it to come to you. So, all right. Anything else?
Nothing else so far.
Staff, family. So all the other stuff, we do entity clearing, we do healing, we do all of this sort of stuff, but that's not what this live is for. This live is really for teaching people to listen to their intuition. So if it's light, it's right. If it's heavy, it's light. So how does your intuition talk? If you get lighter, if you expand, that's your intuition. That's enlightenment, so you get a bit lighter, you expand, you relax. That means that's a yes from your intuition. A no from your intuition is you get heavier, you get more contracted. It feels yuck. This is the basics of how we do it. So when we ask questions, when we hear people, that's what we're feeling constantly. We go, oh yeah, that expanded or that contracted. You can look at your posture will do it. You can listen to the words, you can listen to the tone of the voice, the enthusiasm, all of that stuff will indicate whether it's more opening and expanding or it's more contracting. And then we change our words and all of our subconscious, all of our words, our joking, people, sarcasm, I used to love sarcasm, right? And geez, didn't it destroy my life? It's like, so we think we're just joking about it, but the subconscious mind, mind doesn't accept that. The subconscious mind picks the joke up and makes it real. because there's emotion and there's laughter behind it. Subconscious mind makes it even more real because there's emotion in it. So please stop stop being sarcastic, right? Because the subconscious mind does not know the difference between a joke and a reality. It does not know the difference between, this is why visualization and that works. If the subconscious mind picks up the visualization, you can make your body healthier by visualizing, spending 10, 15 minutes a day, meditating and visualizing doing a gym workout. Your body and the muscles will pick up that gym workout, right? I do that a lot because I don't like going to the gym, right? So, it's a cheat, but it's a great cheat, It's like, so, the body, as you visualize it intensely inside and add some joy to it and add some emotion to it, it really reacts and the body can pick up that stuff instantly, If you tell yourself, that, it's like, that what you're doing is bad while you're doing it, it's like, that's the worst thing you do. I need to stop smoking. I need to stop smoking. It's like, fuck, just enjoy it at least, right? It's going to have less detriment than it is, because you're not enjoying it when you say, I need to stop. You're judging it while you're doing it, right? Say, I love this smoking and it's making me healthier. One day I might stop it, but right now I fucking love it. It's like, if I eating food, it's like, I've got to stop eating all this food. It's making me fatter. That's doubling down on the problem, So do it and then, or don't do it. It's a simple way of say. So, right. But the poor humor is so.
Oh no, because Melissa said, "I'm annoyed you won't answer my comments," and I went back and I could only see one comment, which was something about graciousness, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what comment she's talking about, and then she's like, "Sorry, poor humor." Yeah. It's not poor humor.
Yeah, but it is. That annoyance is. But that's a classic example. If that was true, I'm not saying it is, Melissa, but that's a classic example of. That will be happening inside you. If people come on to, say, people go on lives and people never get answered right from the live, I keep going on to these lives and nobody answers me, nobody listens to me. Where's that happening in you? No, is your head answering? Is your emotions talking all the time and saying they want to do something and you're not listening? Your thoughts won't listen to your emotions, or your head won't listen to your heart. It won't answer the comments that your heart's saying, let's have some fun. And your head's going, no. What? I'm not listening. So that, I'm not saying you are doing that, Melissa, but if that was the case, if it was true, then that's what would probably be happening to you. There's comments, there's messages that your feelings or your emotions are asking, and your head's not listening.
All right, Donna, I have had laryngitis and a viral infection for a month now. Third bad bout of laryngitis in 3 months. What do I need to do to help myself get better?
So laryngitis is, again, we'd have to delve in this a little bit deeply, but we'll just touch on the obvious ones. Laryngitis is, you're either talking too much to everyone. So it means it's either telling you to shut the fuck up, stop telling everyone what to do, and stop telling everyone, might be good advice, but it's not helping you, right? Yeah. So it's like, it's either telling you to shut up, or it's telling you to, just to start listening to your own conversation. It's like, stop talking so much and start listening to your own advice. And if you are talking to people, if you are giving people advice, and then listen to it, because it applies to you as much as it applies to them. It might apply to you in a different way, but the same advice, the core of the advice applies to you. The laryngitis is you're not listening to you. It's like, that's the basics of it. But because you've got the flu infection with it, so the infection and the what was it, the virus or whatever, that's an indication that your body's run down. So you're not listening to your own advice. You need to be quiet for a while and stop talking so much and listen to your own talking and take your own advice. Take the things that you're saying, listen to it. It can be the opposite one as well, but that's probably more likely to what it is. Without talking to you a bit more, we can't. There's usually, most of these things have 3 or 4 main different arenas, and often there's the total opposite as well. So delving into a bit more with a conversation, that it's hard to, some of them are very easy and we'll nail them straight on.
Totally.
But it's generally
speaking, hit a nail on the head there with the laughing comments.
So it's like, listen to your own advice. The rundown, the virus taking hold and staying hold. Like, it's not that you got the virus, that's an external influence, but the fact that your body can't clear it fast enough, the immune system is run down, which means your body's trying to talk to you and you need a break. Stop trying to help everyone. Stop trying to give them advice, especially the ones who aren't taking it. It's called, stop trying to pearls on swine, as they say.
You said thanks, John. I don't know which John.
Don't bring pearls to swine, as they say. So wasting your breath and wasting your energy, giving so many people advice who aren't taking it, it's really draining. It's really tough, right? And so, and it's hard if you're good at that. And I had to stop that one a couple of years ago. And it's an addiction, right? It's hard to give up as any other physical addiction. So it's like, but when you do, and you start giving it, only give it whether we call it qualifying the person, right?
Yes.
So if you give the person advice, give them a little bit, tell them to go away and use it, tell them to come back and show you that they've used it, and then give them more advice. But don't just go around giving it. It doesn't matter how good it is. If they're not using it, it's draining your energy.
Yeah. Laura says, help yourself before you help others. Yes and no.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, sometimes you can help others to help yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but yes, you got to do for yourself. So when I do a energy healing, right? Any energy healing I do, if I feel a blockage or a dysfunction there, I go, okay, if or where I have that in me, heal it in me first and release it in me, transform it in me, whatever. And then the energy flows through them it's like, when you heal it inside yourself, when you fix it inside yourself, your energy does most of the healing just by being there. It's like it's like tuning an instrument. If I'm tuning my guitar, I've got my guitar in tune. It's easier for the other person to tune in on my guitar because it's already there. One's already in tune. And so that's most of the work is done just by fixing it inside yourself. So, and it's everything that comes to you is a reflection, so you might not, you might have it this much inside you and they've got it that much inside them, but it's still a reflection. It's still, that's why they're drawn to you. Otherwise they wouldn't be drawn to you. And that's why you're drawn to them, or that's why you see it. So it's like, these things, this is why I stopped giving so much advice, right? And I started saying, okay, I'll give it, but they have to earn it. They have to prove that they're using the advice. They have to, so I gave them less and made them come back and tell me how they used it before I'd give them more. And then it's not draining them. It's very empowering and increases both of your energy.
Donna, I think you're spot on. I need to take my own advice. Read that comment again, Donna.
So, and when you do, when you're doing that properly and you give it out, you don't give a shit whether they take it or not, because you're listening to you. It's like, say, when you're listening to you and listening to everything that comes out of your mouth, say, where does that apply in me? How do I apply that in me? You don't care whether I use it or not. You really don't give a shit. It's like you can give them the best advice in the world that will transform your life, and you don't even care if they use it or not, right? It's like, because you're using it in that moment. Okay. Any other ones?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Good evening, Pete.
So yes, if you've got any, health issues, any things that are annoying you, all of these things are just our intuition talking to us. Our intuition, our inner guru, as we say on our video, we call it listening to your inner guru. It's talking to you all the time. It's talking to you through life events. It's talking to you through health events. It's all there to show you what you need to correct. There is no problem in the world except for our thinking. It's an old saying, it's hundreds of years old. It's like, the only thing to correct is our thinking or our point of view. Once we correct our point of view, everything else will correct itself. So the problem in the world is our point of view. If we think that there's too much war or there's too much poverty, that's our point of view, and we need to correct our point of view, correct that inside ourselves. If we see too much poverty, there's poverty in us. Where's the poverty? It might be spiritual poverty. It might be mental poverty. It might be, compassion poverty, inside yourself. And it's like, you haven't got enough grace inside you. There's a poverty of grace. You increase your grace. The poverty outside you doesn't annoy you as much. And you also start to make the space for that poverty outside the change. So
hey, Annabelle.
So yeah, it's like, these, everything's a reflection. It's all as above, so below, macrocosm, microcosm. Your body is a reflection. When you do meditation, you start going in and seeing it, and you do it really well, and you look inside, and it's amazing. You look out at the universe, you look out at the stars, and it looks damn huge. You look inside and you get a good look inside, and it's bigger than out there, and you're like, what the hell? How does that fit inside my body? How the hell is all that in there? It's like your body is an exact reflection of the whole universe. So this is why, if you can correct it inside, it either won't bother you outside, and it'll also make the space and this is where be the change comes from, right? Yeah. This is the whole concept of be the change. You don't like poverty, stop the poverty in you. Where's the poverty in me? Poverty of spirit, You know, there's a thing called generosity of spirit, right? It's a very common term in spiritual traditions. If you've got a generosity of spirit, you've got excess spirit, and you've got a generosity of it. So if you've got a poverty of spirit, then you're going to notice all the poverty outside. So it's like, so you don't have financial poverty, you've got a poverty of spirit, or you've got a poverty of grace, or a poverty of forgiveness. You know, so these things are just a reflection. And as soon as you say you agree to look inside and to fix it inside you, it's amazing. I cannot even just begin to describe how fast it changes things.
Yeah.
How you know, it's
in that instance.
So, you know, you started in the morning, by the end of the day, your fucking life's turned around, right? It's you know, it's so like, true. And this is what the intuitive guidance is about. This is because if you see it and you change it, you know, we can sit here and we can do what other readers do, and I can tell you everything, but then you're reliant on me. I don't want you to be reliant on me because I don't want to do that much fucking work, right? It's a bit more work to teach you how to do it. In the short term, I'd rather spend a month teaching you than spend the rest of my life fucking telling you every week, right? So yes, for a month it'll be more hard work, but then I don't have to do anything for the rest of my life. You know, so this is their saying: if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. You know, so this is the difference between inspiration and motivation. So this is what the intuitive. I'd rather get people to see it, start fixing it themselves, then they own it, and then they empower themselves with that. So. Got any more? Anyone else want to come on live and have a little chat? No, you know, the link at the top, the Zoom link. The Zoom link allows you to come on, have a chat, or come on video, and you know, just tell us what your issues are, and we'll help you to see them. And if you can see your issues, that's 90% of fixing them. If you can see them, if you can see where they are inside you and what they're connected to, and what else, you know, we have three main aspects to ourselves. You know, we call it love, power, and wisdom. You know, you can call it mind, body, soul, thoughts, words, and actions. You know, there's a three-part system. You know, the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. There's always a three-part system. They're the three different aspects within inside ourselves. So our Christ selves, our higher selves, whatever you want to call it, has three main aspects. And when those three aspects can unite, which is the pleasure centers of the lower three chakras, the lion, the masculine, the heart chakra, and the wisdom of the upper three chakras, the feminine, when they unite in the heart of hearts and inside ourselves and become one with us, the four aspects unite, that's when you become an ascended master. You become a Buddha or a Christ, or, you know, one of those types of ascended masters. You know, this is our work. This is all our works, and it's the only path there is for everyone. And in this lifetime, or in 100 lifetimes from now, everyone will do this. Yeah. And it's like it's the only path. It's the path that God or the universe set out. But, you know, we can muck around with all the other shit for fucking hundreds of thousands of lifetimes. If you're slow like me, you can muck around with it for thousands and thousands of lifetimes. Yep. So, you know, it's, you know, but uniting that, you know, and it's not denying it. It's like, you know, you can't deny the pleasures. That's the love, the inner child, the soul is in the lower three chakras, the masculine, the power, the lion is in the heart chakra, the wisdom, the overseeing is the feminine in the upper three chakras. Uniting these and becoming one with them is what makes you magic. It makes you empowered. It makes you infinite and invulnerable. It's like, but it feels vulnerable at the same time.
Yes, it does.
it's like you feel completely invulnerable and completely vulnerable both at the same time.
It's a fucking weird feeling.
Yeah. So, you know, what's that one?
It's funny how people are energy vampires.
So the energy vampires, you know, it's like, so if you're seeing that a lot, if you're noticing that a lot, then that's in you, right? So maybe your thoughts are vampiring energy out of your feelings or out of your emotions. So it's like there's something stealing your energy inside you. So you have, this is what we talk about, the three different aspects. We've got, you know, the emotions, which is the lower three. We've got the feelings, which is the heart. And we've got the thoughts. So your thoughts might be vampiring energy from your emotions or vice versa. So, you know, and if you stop that, the energy vampires, they can't touch you. Right?
Indeed.
You can actually, if you open up your crown chakra and you keep all your chakras flowing, energy vampires, I love them, because if I see them trying to suck energy off me, I just turn up the crown chakra from 10 to 150 and then just fucking send it to them on hyperdrive, and they fucking run away. They shit themselves. Like, I'll sit there and let them, I've showed people, I'll sit there, I said, look, that person's looking at us trying to suck energy out of us. said, I'll let them do it for a minute and I'll tell you, I'll put my thumb up when I'm going to fucking turn it up. And then I just turn the energy up without looking at them. I'll just open the crown and just bring through and tell the universe to bring the energy through tenfold, and then just send them 10 or 100 times what they're asking for, right? So they're trying to suck energy. So they're trying to suck 10 units of energy. So I say, the universe, turn it up to 1,000 times. Instead of giving them 10 units, I give them 1,000 units, right? And just send it to them with joy, and they just cut off and they'll run away. You know, it's really fun. It's quite fun. It's like, they don't know they're doing it. They're just, you know, our energy comes from the source. It comes from oneness, or we take it off each other. That's all it is. They don't know how to open their crown. They don't know how to connect with source. So, you know, don't resist it. If you resist it, then they're going to keep sucking more off you, right? That's the problem. And you think your energy is limited, so can't drain you. Can't drain me. It's not taking mine. I'll just turn it up and let the universe bring 100 times more through. They can have extra because I don't need it. It's not. I need enough for me. So do that. Just send. So when they're pulling it, when you feel them, just open yours up. So just ask the universe, ask God, say, amplify my energy, times it by 100, and send it to them. You know, give them 10 times what they're asking for. I guarantee they'll cut off straight away. And you do that silently. You do it just through focusing, and you can just do it just by commanding it and telling it to do that. You can't do it by action. You do it just by commanding, by talking. It's very fun. You don't need protection. If you need protection, you're going to be vulnerable. What do you need for protection for? You're an infinite being. You're a God on earth. If you need protection, you're buying into fear. What do I need protection for? The energy will protect me automatically just by amplifying. Can't touch me. The only reason fear or anything can touch me is if I buy into the fear. If I buy into that I need protection, I'm buying into fear. It protects automatically. Yes, true. There is protection, but that happens automatically. I don't think of protection. I just know that that's what happens, right? It happens automatically. So if my energy is being drained, I just go, okay, show me, turn it up. Give me 100 times more, send it out. And it's like, and it floods through me, and I'll get it, and I'll get it. And everyone gets it, and there's no lack, right? As soon as I try and protect myself, I'm limiting, trying to hold what I've got. Then that's a limitation. So it's tough to do it first. And, you know, sometimes in the early stages, we do need a little bit of protection because we've got a habit or we've got a pattern there that drains us. So yes, there is a temporary measure of protection sometimes. It's like, you know, if you're an alcoholic, you know, and you need to stop drinking, you don't go to the pub, right, for a while, you know. But then, you know, if you make that a rule and 5 years later, I'm an alcoholic, but I haven't had a drink for fucking 5 years, well, you know, now you're creating a problem in itself. So, you know, you can go, but there is a temporary time where you do need to cut off, or you do need to separate yourself. But that's not really protection. That's changing your patterns, changing your habits. So it is partially there, but just be careful not to make it another rule or another problem. So, okay, what else we got? Anything else?
Not yet.
All right. So, so we've got the live videos on YouTube, some of the tools, the basic tools. We do readings. We're just about to open a shop if you're in Melbourne.
We are.
So in the next few weeks over at Paran, we're about to get our shop. And so we'll be doing some small groups from there, some meditation groups. I'll be doing energy healing on a daily basis. We'll be starting to sell some of our stock and that over there. So that'll be opening up in the next 4 to 6 weeks over in Paran if anyone is in Melbourne. So that'll be fun. We'll be running regular classes from there. That'll be quite enjoyable. Yeah. So looking forward to that. And we can do readings online if you're not in Melbourne. And
I'm going to use that. Thanks so much for the advice.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Donna.
So just keep using it bit by bit. Just remind yourself every time it comes up, it's like, okay, change the picture, change the visualization, and just bring the energy through and send it more. You know, we as empaths and that, you know, we get sort of a bit stifled at times, and then we try and stop it. Trying to stop it makes it happen more. Don't try and stop it. Just go neutral. Say, give me more energy. If somebody's sucking my energy, give me more. Send it out, amplify it. You know, it's only limited if I make it limited. You know, fear is the only way anything negative can grab a hold of you is if you believe it. If you say that it can have power over you, then it can. If you know that it can't, if you accept that it can't, if you don't buy into the fear, if you look at it neutral, from a neutral perspective, then it will change. It will turn around. It will flip instantly. So, yep, cool. All
All
right.
right. I'm feeling that's it.
Yep. So we've come to an end tonight. We haven't got any more questions. So thank you guys for that. We'll be back again next Monday
night.
Updates on
updates
on the new premises
Yep.
and the new tools. Thanks guys for the questions tonight.
Thank you very much.
For who come on live.
Yep.
That was great. Kath, thanks for coming on live and sharing. See you all next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.